So hi, I am Raghavendra Rao. I am here to talk about genetic drift, random evolutionary change. So you are able to see a person whose name is C. Wall. He is the first person to coin the term genetic drift. So the random drift by means of sampling error known as the Sewall-Wright effect. So we will look into genetic drift. What is this genetic drift? How it operates the evolution process. Basically, genetic drift is a mechanism of evolution in which allele frequencies of a population change over generations due to chance. So this is what we generally call it as sampling error. This is not an adaptation, but by a chance there is a change in the frequencies of the population which leads to a kind of drift from the main population. Although genetic drift is operated in most of the population, but its effect tend to be very clear and stronger in those populations where their size is very small. So by chance, not by adaptation, by chance, it operates in smaller population as well as larger population, but its effect is more on smaller populations. So here is a diagrammatic representation of original population which consists of nearly 20 total alleles, and these 20 alleles are in general 10 of red which is dominant and 10 of blue which is recessive. So gradually one generation after another, when we look into this, there is a random change by chance in the allelic frequency which has completely from 50-50 red and blue to a complete blue allele population. In this way, this happens by chance in the small population. So this phenomenon we generally consider it as genetic drift. Basically, when you observe this, this is the animation where the first jar contains the allele number, that is what allelic frequency of the original population, where gradually they, by random chance, they move to one generation to another generation. There is a change in the allelic frequency of the gene pool. What we can observe, slowly it has eliminated the red alleles which are dominant and it is completely replaced by blue ones, which is purely by chance. It is purely by chance. So when we talk about this, initially the original population in the case of gene pool, where it consists of 10 red alleles and 10 blue alleles, so the p value and q value is equal, that is 0. So that is p value is 0.5 and q value is 0.5. Originally this we see in the original population. So when these alleles by random chance, when they move to the second generation or the next generation, so there is a decreasing in the red allele population when it is compared to the blue allele population, which has changed to 0.3 and 0.7. Means the red allele value is frequency is 0.3 and the q value, that is blue, which is recessive allelic frequency, is 0.7. Similarly, when we move to the third generation, the p value has become 1.5 and the q value has raised to 0.85. This is also pure by chance. It's not by any adaptation. And when we move to the fourth generation, the p value has become 0.2 and q value has become 0.8 in general, because it has 4 red alleles and the rest of the alleles are of blue alleles. Similarly, when we talk about the last generation, this last generation consists of all blue alleles where the p value is 0 and the q value is 1. This change in the allelic frequency over a time period by chance, we generally consider it as genetic drift. So this is what happens when the population size is very small, the deviation, the drift in the population of allelic frequency will be drastically affect that particular population, which is in general has completely changed the original population to a new population. That is what normally the genetic drift does in the case of smaller population. If you generally plot a graph, basically what we can say, we see the fifth generation, the Q will be like this. So when we just do all this, basically you will see a deviation in the drift in the allelic frequency, which is in general very clearly shown from original population to the fifth generation. So in this way, when we analyze the allelic frequency, so here we can say purely by chance there is a drift is operated, and this population data we will see with a population simulator. In this simulator, what we can say, we will take two populations of n is equal to initially 50 and the generation we will do 200, and when we just click here, let us see what happens. See, you will be able to see a massive drift if you increase this. So you can see there is a deviation. There is a deviation which we observe in both these things. So in this juncture, what we can say, initially when the population is very small, the allelic frequency drift automatically. Suppose if we see, when we increase the population from 50 to 500, now let us see. So there is a less drift which we can see in this allelic frequency among the populations. If you keep on increasing the value of means the number of population size, even there is a less drift we can see. So if you increase to 50,000, still there is a very means there won't be any drift. So means when the size of the population, when you are increasing, the allelic frequency drift is decreasing. So that is what the genetic drift operates almost in all population, but basically it affects only the smaller population only. Now we will see, when we talk about the evolution, these are the things which we notice. So the total number of genes present in a population, we call it as a gene pool. So the gene pool will be always maintain equilibrium when there are no such evolutionary forces are taking place, like large population should be large, no mutation, no migration, no selection, and the mating should be random. If all these forces are absent, the total number of genes present in the gene pool will be always maintained in this. Otherwise, if these are all operated, there will be an evolution process. We can say that if all these are not happening, then you will see the process of evolution. So when we talk about the size of the population, the size matters for the genetic drift. Basically, the genetic drift is more strongly operated in smaller population. So its effect is strong in smaller population. If these populations are in general even get isolated also, these isolated populations, either they become founder populations or they show a bottleneck phenomenon. They show bottleneck effect. So when we talk about the genetic drift, so these are the two implications which we see in the as a real world examples. One is the founder effect and another one is bottleneck effect. So these two are in general considered to be the major implications which we see due to the genetic drift in the populations. So that when we talk about genetic drift, as I mentioned, there are two important implications which we see, that is in general, one is bottleneck phenomenon, another one is founder neck. So we have two real world examples which are explaining about the bottleneck phenomenon and founder effect. So the real life examples regarding the bottleneck phenomenon means, so bottleneck phenomenon is a kind of thing that, so the population will really squeeze through a bottleneck due to various activities which has decreased the number of population. So very good example for the bottleneck phenomenon is Northern Elephant Seal. So in this Northern Elephant Seal, basically what we can say, initially the population may be very high, but due to the adverse conditions or the activities of the human which has made the Northern Elephant Seal to the verge of extinct, so that their number from 1 lakh, it has decreased to 50 number, and again they brought back to 1 lakh. Means they have recovered even after this bottleneck effect, but even after the recovery also, it has a lot of implication on the gene diversity and the type of alleles which are present after the bottleneck when we compare to the pre-bottleneck phenomenon. Similarly, we will also take an example of founder effect which we have noticed in the human phenotypes in island called Penglap. So these are the two real life examples which are explaining regarding bottleneck effect as well as founder effect. So here is the simulated population deviation. When the population is 20, this is how normally the allelic frequency has got drifted. When the population is increasing, the drift in the allelic frequency is decreasing. So this clearly gives that the genetic drift cannot be operating in the larger population, but it has a strong effect on smaller population. So when we talk about the genetic drift in the case of isolated populations, so what we can say that this is in general considered as original gene pool. This is the original job. So initially when we look into that, the red alleles and the green alleles are having 50-50 ratio, but this original population by isolation mechanism, if it splits into smaller population, gradually what happens, you can see there is a decrease, and by purely chance there is a change in the allelic frequency where the population has completely in general consists of only a single type of allele among the two types of alleles. So initially the original population has got 50-50 allelic frequency, but they have gradually as converted by the process of isolation, we generally it says it has completely it consists of only one type of alleles, that is red allele, and this population which has occurred through the isolation process, which we call as founder population. And this founder population, which is in general, will have a different set of genetic diversity, basically what we can see. So this is also pure, we can see when some of the toads or the birds which are migrated from the mainland to the island, gradually, purely by chance, they get converted into a different species like bee. A is converted into B. Basically, this isolation mechanism very clearly mentions when there is a chance of random chance which normally changes the allelic frequency when the population is very small, and the newly gained population is in general will have a lot of implications and difference in the genetic diversity, which is in general considered to be the founder population. Now, we will deal some of the real life examples. The bottleneck phenomenon is very clearly noticed in the northern elephant seal. Basically, nearly at 1800, the population has decreased to 50 number in one of the Mexico island. Here, when we look into the distribution of the northern elephant seal, basically the northern elephant seal has in general distributed very clearly, what we can say. So here you can see this is the coast, northern coast of US and Mexico, where these northern elephant seals are distributed, basically due to the various human activities which has made the number into 50 in one of the island in the Mexico, so which has clearly went through a bottleneck phenomenon. The population is really squeezed through bottleneck due to the various activities of the human. Like this initial population is over 1 lakh individual. Later this has gone through the various bottleneck effects where it has been reduced to 50 in number, and again they have regained to nearly 1,50,000. At present we will see the population of the northern elephant sea. Similarly, when we observe the southern elephant seals which are distributed in the Antarctic region, their number is in general very high because they have not faced such kind of human activities here, and their population has no effect because of that. This is very clearly we can see in the case of northern elephant seal, where they are at the verge of the extinction in 1800. Their number has been decreased to 50. Again, they have gone through the phenomenon of bottleneck effect, and again they have increased their number, but there is a lot difference in the genetic diversity of pre-bottleneck population as well as the allelic frequency of post-bottleneck phenomenon. So that we will generally compare with the analysis which has done research by the scientist on skulls of pre-northern elephants as well as post-northern elephant seal. So pre-bottleneck northern elephant seals and post-bottleneck phenomenon in the northern elephant seal. So when we look into they have taken two parameters here. One is genetic diversity. They worked on, first of all, genetic diversity by isolating the DNA of mitochondria. So So when they have isolated the DNA of mitochondria from the skulls in the pre-bottleneck northern eastern seal, and they have observed with the DNA sequences of post-bottleneck northern eastern seal, they have found there is a lot of loss of biodiversity, like genetic diversity, in the northern elephant seal after the post-bottleneck effect. Similarly, they have also observed the skulls and their symmetry. So they have measured the left mandible as well as right mandibular distance. So both the distances, when they have plotted before the bottleneck phenomenon in northern elephant seal, they have a linear arrangement of their symmetries on either side, where normally they have shown a clear symmetry in the left mandible as well as right mandible distribution. And similarly, when they have also studied the skulls of southern elephant seals, the mandibular distance between the right and left, this is the left mandibular and this is the right mandibular, and their distance when they have measured, they have seen very clear symmetry between the right and left, and their R values are close to same, where normally that is 0.95 and this is 0.953 and that is 9.957. So where normally before the bottleneck phenomenon, when we look into the northern elephant seal and the southern elephant seal, they are showing same kind of symmetry in the mandible as well as the right and left mandible. Similarly, when we look into the post-bottleneck effect of northern elephant seal, when we compare the symmetry of arrangement of northern elephant seals right and left mandibular distance, they have distributed unevenly in the linear fashion, which has very clearly says that by chance the losing the diversity of genetic which has been made asymmetric formation due to the loss of some of the allelic frequencies, which is in general made prone to another extinction, that is another bottleneck phenomenon we may observe in such cases. Because of this symmetry has got deviated due to the loss of original allelic frequency, and the new post-bottleneck northern elephant seal has got a different set of allelic frequency, which has majoritarily shown the implications on the genetic diversity as well as the symmetry in the case of these animals. So founder effect is also another implication of genetic drift. Basically, when the population is very small and the founder population is initially, which is the first one which we see in that particular area, basically when the population has get isolated from the mainland to the islands, generally you will see very limited individual biodiversity, like genetic diversity as well as the allelic frequency in the population or gene pool. In this way, when we talk about example in this, so there is an island in general considered as Pingla. What we can say, there is an island called as Pingla. This island is in general swept out. So this is island called Pingla. In this island is distributed in the southern Pacific Ocean region of federal state of Micronesia, where nearly in 1700, due to the heavy typhoon which has completely swept the human population in the Pingla Island, and after this typhoon the leftover population number is 20 only. So now this leftover number, due to the natural calamity, by chance or any kind of a human activity which left out the limited number of individual, and this population now we consider it as a founder population. And this founder population, when they basically mate with the existing population or inbreeding, generally it leads to a kind of diversity which has present in the previous that will be lost, and you will see homozygous condition more and more in such populations. So when we take an example, there is a person in that Pingla who is named as Nahamwarkin, who is considered as a leader of that population. He is first noticed with complete color blindness. When he is looking at the Mistral bird, it looks like completely grey. So which lead, it is nothing but, so he is having complete color blindness. So initially when they have observed from this descent of population, 5% of the individuals from this population descents has affected with complete color blindness. And similarly, now it has been grown to 10 to 15% of the people who are in general has become complete color blindness. So this is in general, it is mainly because a random chance or otherwise complete inbreeding process which has led to the such kind of what we can say, it is a kind of phenotypic expression in the founder population has completely increased in the founder population and the descents of the founder population. So by this way, it is very clearly explains that when the genetic drift is operated in the smaller population, it has the implication either in the form of a bottleneck phenomenon or in the form of a founder effects. So this is regarding genetic drift.